Hi, it's Jo from Minerva. Today I'm going to show you a few setting up tips and a few tips for your overlocker. Every sewing machine and overlocker is different, so you will need to get your manual out to check out anything that's specific to your machine. I'm going to thread up my overlocker and hopefully show you a few tips. To thread your overlocker, you need to make sure that your bar is up and you put your reels on. You don't have to use big cones, you can just use a small moon thread, but then you would have to take off maybe a stopper, so check your manual. You don't have to have those big cones. Okay, so when you thread your overlocker, there'll be a tension disc around your numbered wheel, and that's to make sure that your thread is running through at the right tension. If it's just pulling through, you'll get really loopy stitches, so you need to make sure that you've got it going through that tension disc. Next, you follow your manual, or mine's got a little pathway already marked out, and then I might need to use tweezers to help me get my thread through tricky parts. Long nose tweezers are really useful. Because you can use the tweezers to feed the thread through the tricky parts of the machine. Another way you can thread through tricky parts of your machine is to use some extra long needle threaders. So these are a set of needle threaders. I've got two. There's a straight one with a wire loop on the end, and a curved one. I don't use that one so much, but I don't need to for my machine. But if your machine's parts are in tricky places, you might need to get around a corner. And then I can use that to thread other parts through the tension disc. Through the wire of the needle threader. I can use the needle threader to go through tiny little holes here that are tricky to get to. Another way you can change your threads is to join your threads on with a little knot, but you need to pull the knot quite tightly, because if it's a big knot it won't go through all of the holes and little mechanical bits and pieces. So pull your knot quite tight, make sure there's not too much slack, and you do that for each cone, and then just run a chain on your machine and all of the threads should join up and come out. You'll know that it's worked because all of your threads will turn from red to white in my case. Doesn't always work, because sometimes your knot might not quite go through the eye of your needle, but 9 times out of 10 it goes through, and it's a really quick way to rethread and change colour on your machine. You can always mix your threads as well. So I'm going to be sewing some blue fabric. So I'm going to take out the upper and the lower looper white threads. I haven't got all threads the same, but if I put a mix of light blue fabrics, I'll get an overlock edge that matches colour. On the upper looper, I'm going to put my best colour match, because that's the one that makes the widest zigzag, and that's the most amount of thread shown. And then I'm going to put another lighter one on the lower looper. It doesn't matter if they don't exactly match, because it'll be on the inside anyway. But I do want my white threads on the end, and I'm going to put my second needle in as well, because my stitch line, I'd like that to be white because I'm using a blue and white fabric.